week. Welcome back to our channel. We are a tribe called Dhillon. I'm Angie Dhillon.
And I'm Rose Dhillon.
And I'm Alvin Dhillon.
And before we get into today's content, a special shout out to all of you because you are all helping to grow our digital community a little bit bigger. We are so excited to see the numbers increase. We're not all caught up in the numbers, but just all the love and the support we have noticed on all of our social channels. You have been subscribing, you have been sharing our content, you have been promoting our content. So we just want to say that we are so grateful for all of your support. Please continue to log in, check in, talk to us, DM us, create some engagement, share your comments, and continue to support A Tribe Called Dhillon podcast because we are extremely grateful for your support. So thank you very much. Okay, right. Now that I said that, let's get right into today's topic. But before we do, I want to introduce a little quick segment. I'm going to call it Win of the Week. Okay. So win of the week is just basically where I'm going to talk to you guys about the win of your week. Okay. Something small. It can be something big. And same thing for our listeners and our viewers. If think about this, like it doesn't have to be something so big or something so small, but just take the minute sometimes to celebrate the wins of the week in your life. I think sometimes with life, we just get so busy and it's just go that we don't realize all the things, the small or big things that we accomplish in the week. And we forget to pat ourselves on the back.
Absolutely.
Right? Alvin, I'm going to go to you. What was your win of the week?
Well, I'll say I had a few wins, but I'll give you the one example. Because we're doing the reno right now, it's been quite a process to get contractors to actually show up first to the house and then hope that they do good work. So we've had a couple issues. First one was that we want to replace our windows because we realized they're old aluminum windows, they're leaking, and it's time for it to be replaced. Now, finding a person to come and actually first give you the quote, do the measurements, and come and do the install was like a 10-step process because I had to message about 5 or 6 people, hope for somebody. Almost all of them replied back saying, yeah, sure, we'll come by at 6:30. 6:30 rolls by, no one's there. 7 o'clock rolls by, 8 o'clock. I'm sitting there looking out the window, like anyone going to come? Nobody showed up. Finally, about a week later, I got somebody to come down. They took the measurements, waited another week, and they finally showed up. And when they actually replaced it, I was like, this is not a good job. They didn't do a proper job. So then he said, I'll come back and I'm going to fix it. So I didn't pay him because I'm like, I know contractors, like, once you pay them, they're not coming back. And thankfully, the universe helped me out and he came back and he actually fixed it. And it actually looks a lot better. Like it's 95% there. We just have to do some minor touch-ups. But I was happy that his work, that he had integrity and he came back because now I know I can rely on him to do the rest of the windows for the whole house. So that was my big win. That's
a big win.
Because if we didn't do the windows now, it's impossible to do it after all the renos are done because they're going to make a mess and damage all the floors and damage everything. So that was a big stressor, which...
Good. That's cool. That calls for a high five.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's a big win.
That is. And windows, it's best to do it when the weather is warm right now while it's summer happening,
before you do all the other rentals, because I saw when you take the old one out, it made a big mess on the ground. So I was like, if we don't do this now, I gotta delay every other piece of the project. So that worked out. So thank you, universe.
Good. And were the roommates happy with that?
Yes, they were. They're very happy.
Yeah, because I know that mom's
unfortunately though, she's not exactly happy with one of the windows they installed. I told Dad the previous window was you push out. So when you're standing up, the window's frosted. It's in the bathroom, so you don't see out. And then they're like, no, we'll just fine. We'll put the pull-up one. I was like, okay, fine. Because they don't give warranty on the other one. So we pulled the pull-up one and Mom and guys realized that when you pull it up, you can stare at the other neighbor in their washroom. So I was like, okay, when they come back, they'll take that one out, use it downstairs and put a proper one up.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. I saw it coming and I told them, but I was like, nope. Nobody listened to the roommate manager. Nope. So you know what?
Yeah,
learn the hard way.
Your roommates are pretty tough to impress, especially
they really are, especially
Mama Bear.
Yeah, they're tough.
She's
Mama Bear's tough to impress.
Yes.
Good. That's an excellent win, Al. Thank you for sharing. Rose, what was your win of the week, or do you have a highlight, a story?
Well, no, I actually do have a win, and I think it should be celebrated more. I didn't think of it was a big deal until you kind of said it, but I have committed with my counselor to do EMDR therapy. So it's a pretty big deal. For anyone who doesn't know it, Google EMDR. It is a very technical therapy that they do on trying to desensitize some of the traumatic experiences that you've had in your life. And it can be very heavy. She's had me go through pages of paperwork. And so I've committed to starting that next week. And
nice.
Okay.
It's kind of scary, but I'm excited.
No, that's a great win. It's the
Yeah.
start of a
Good job.
journey of unfolding and unlayering.
Exactly.
Right?
When you first said EMDR, I thought it was like a genre of music. I was like, that's,
What does it stand for, though?
I'll have to get back to you. I don't know what it stands for.
What is it? EMDR.
therapy.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
and it's something to do with the eyes that they do. But it's
Okay.
I finally committed to let's go deeper. Like let's go there. I'm ready to
Good.
go there.
You actually have another win. I don't think you realize. Another win is that your hair looks on point today. But
Let's
let me
talk
fix
about my
this.
hair.
Let
Let's
me
talk
fix
about my
this one
hair.
piece because I look back at some of my episodes and no one's ever corrected these little flyaways. But you want to talk about your
Yeah,
hair?
let's talk about it, 'cause
So here's the deal. I went back and watched. We like to go back and watch our episodes and critique one another and say, hey, we could have done something better in here. And I couldn't get past your hair. So if I can get past your hair, I'm wondering if some of our viewers could. What
Actually, my friend Jason called me about like, well, I didn't realize your hair's so long. I was like, no, I know what you're trying to say. I used a curling iron that I haven't used in like 5 years. And I don't think I realized that it just didn't look
it
the
looked
way.
like crinkle fries.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a crimper. It just didn't do what it needs to do. And, the show must go on. So
Right.
I had to still perform and we still had to get it out there. But I look back and I'm like, oh my God, what was I
Yeah.
thinking? So, yes, today is more of a
Good. You
Good
got
hair
two
day.
wins. Two wins.
two
of the week.
wins.
See?
Well, I wouldn't consider that one a win, but I
today's
thought
hair
it was
is a
funny
win.
that you guys had told me about it. And then when Jason called and said, what's up with your hair? I was like, yeah, all right, we got to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to
Look
keep
like
it real.
Snoop Dogg before he does his braids.
We like to keep it real here in the family, right?
Yes,
and
we do.
we talk
Yes.
about all the good and the bad and the ugly.
Yeah.
I don't really know how I can really put that hairstyle in context if it was good, bad, or ugly, but it was just odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
Right.
Let's stick with
Odd.
odd. I would stick with odd. It just, I look like a mop on my head. I don't know what I was thinking, but
But I love the confidence that you walked in when we were taping that episode. You walked in like you were J-Lo, and I knew right then. I'm like, oh, her hair is like terrible. I didn't say that as big sister because you don't want to buzzkill someone before they're starting their episode. And you kept making fun of my hair. Oh, it's always so straight, and you should curl it. You should do something. So I actually put a little effort in today.
well, it's funny you say that about the confident. That's something that I've always just owned my stuff. Like I remember I burned my whole face waxing. I didn't realize the wax was so hot.
Your upper lip area.
upper lip.
You're
in
kind
this
of
area.
doing
yeah.
this.
And I wanted to work. And my coworker was like, I'm like, you're looking at my burn. He's like, no, I just thought you had chocolate all over your face.
You're pretty
I'm a
bold.
burn
I'm pretty
victim.
bold. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
bold.
will give
If
you credit.
I'm not going to call in sick because I burnt my face. I'm going to show up to work.
Yeah, I will give you credit to where credit is due because we both have, and we're going to talk about this in a beauty hack series about our microneedling
Yep.
treatments. And I know when I get microneedling treatments done, I look like porcupine. Somebody hit me, bruised me up. So I try and do it where I'm working from home for a couple consecutive days, and then I'll go in. I remember you did, I think it was called a laser genesis treatment, which is like an extreme heat. And you look like you were sunburned and you still went into work. And I remember seeing you when you came home and I was like, you went into work like that with no makeup.
It's the price of beauty. You
Yeah.
know, it is what it is.
Price for vanity sometimes, right?
Yep.
Okay, my win, it's a work-related win. So I'm actually really excited. I have been working on this application. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's a really prestigious award that my organization is applying for. And I was one of the people that had to work with another team to write the application. So there was 3 of us in total. And it took us, we basically had 2.5 weeks to package it together. And in the end, it was 84 pages long.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of the writing, the work that I put in. We sent it off a week ago, and I'm pumped. And whether we win or not, that's not the point. The point is, I feel good about what I wrote, about my
You are a
colleagues,
great
and my
writer,
organization.
by the way.
That's
You're a
your
great
win.
writer.
High five.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
You are a great writer.
Well
I
done,
will say.
sir. Well
Yeah.
done.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's so hard when you work for corporate organizations, right? And you got to take that corporate jargon and soften it and humanize the context and the information and the content to be like, this is why this is an amazing organization to work for and why they should win this award. So I was really pumped. I think my colleagues and we should have gone out for lunch and we should have celebrated, but we didn't because I'm on to the next project. But when I look back now, I'm like, you know what? I should have celebrated that win.
Always celebrate the small wins
Right.
too. We
So-
celebrate the big ones. We forget about the small
forget.
ones that took us to get there.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm introducing this segment where we're going to talk about our win of the week, because I think it's important just to talk about, hey, what did you do? And then take that moment to kind of give yourself a high five, pat on the back and say, hey, like, I'm really proud of myself.
And I want to add to, like, I think people think win is something you won, like a prize. A win is also something that you reflected on and came to a conclusion or an answer that you were kind of pondering over. For me, that's a lot of my wins, is when I self-reflect and I go, I didn't see it that way. And I get really excited that I was able to, like, overcome an obstacle or a thought process that I was kind of stuck on. So to me, I celebrate those as wins as well.
No, I agree, because they're personal growth wins.
Yes. Oh, right? But that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Personal PGW, personal growth wins.
Ooh, Andrew, you're trying to make the LKC policy here? Are you trying to start your own?
You guys with the acronyms, like you guys are like work in IT.
I was just saying the LKC policy.
I actually was developing one too the other day. It came in my sleep. Let me see if I remember it. Oh yeah, I am developing the LTT policy.
Okay, Andrew, what does that stand for?
This is our motto. Let's thrive together.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
LTT.
LTT. I just feel it's easy. It's like LTT.
So you're officially the founder of the LTT policy.
LTT. Yeah. You know me.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. That's about all I got. Yeah. So that's going to be us, because like you said, with the little wins, you celebrate and you reflect, because in essence, that's our motto. Like, let's elevate, motivate, and inspire ourselves to be better than yesterday. And you know why I said yesterday? Because I'm guilty. I do stupid shit all the time. All the time. And I look back and I'll reflect back at the day before. I'm like, why did you say that? Why did you do that in the moment? And sometimes it's like something triggers you. Something happens and you react like that. And I'm trying not to be so reactive to things. I'm always trying to be like, okay, when someone says this, whether it's a personal attack or not, I just kind of take it, walk away. But sometimes they poke the bear and the bear attacks, or the bear reacts. So my thing was now with that was, okay, I'm going to just let some things go. I'm going to reflect that yesterday I was not a positive penny, but today...
And it's okay to have a day that sometimes you just don't want to be, and that's okay.
But today, so that's why I say yesterday, because yesterday are a combination of today's. And then you look back, you're like, yesterday I was like that. And the day before I'm like this. So it's all these little yesterdays that are going to add up to your personal growth in the long run. Get it?
Yeah, that's good.
Get it? All your 30 days of yesterdays, 30 days from now, you're like, oh man, if you reflect back at that, those are big wins.
And sometimes you're so profound.
Sometimes I show up, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you really make me go,
Thanks.
I like that.
I showed up.
Thank you.
Let's get to today's content. I'm super excited about it. And with spring, we're still in spring, even though I want to say summer, because now it's quite warm here in Vancouver. I think people are going to be purging their closet. They're probably going to be doing some, spring and summer cleaning out of the garage. People are going to start utilizing good old Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook Marketplace platform to sell stuff for free, for a price, for a fee, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yep.
So I want to get into this here because there are some interactions that I've had with Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? So I wanted to know if our viewers and our listeners have had the same encounter as us, and as well as you two.
Okay.
Because I know you two have used the platform, right? Okay, let's get into it. Have you bought or sold anything on Facebook Marketplace, Rose?
So I shut down my Facebook account. It's been about 3 years. But when I used to live in a small town in Washington, I used it frequently there, and I sold a lot of stuff that was, my ex-husband used to have a ton of equipment and things, and I would just sell all his stuff on there. And my experience was great, like really great. People would say they're going to show up at a certain time. I would always meet them there's a grocery store called Ray's, so I'd always meet them in broad daylight. Just I'm new to the city, I had to be careful. Always meet them there, and they'd always bring me cash, or we have Venmo. Great experience, and they'd give me a great review, and I'd give them a great review. But again, it was never closed. It was just more accessories and things around the home that I sold.
Venmo is like our Interact e-transfer,
Venmo,
right?
Yeah. It's a free platform where anybody, you can download the app and transfer money among.
Okay.
Is it instant? Like the girl had transferred me money, and within like a minute, I was able to see that it came through.
Okay. See, that's where our Interact e-transfer takes a while.
Yeah. Canada's a little behind the game. I'm not going to lie, you guys.
I've had up to 30 minutes, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not waiting 30 minutes. You better bring cash. And cash is inconvenient, where you're inconveniencing someone nowadays because everything is just all tapped now, right? Yep. Okay, so for the most part, you had nothing but positive stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember. No, everyone showed up who said they were going to show up.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Al, what's your experience been like? Have you bought or sold anything?
It's been a real doozy. It's basically made me realize when I sometimes buy things and I buy them impulse buys and I say, oh shit, I don't need that. That's okay. I'll just sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I think 3 times now before I buy that thing because it's not easy selling on Facebook. And then again, it's even harder giving away free shit on Facebook. Holy shit. The experience has been worse when you're giving it away for free. You get all these messages and then people don't respond to you. And then they'll say, I'm showing up. Nobody shows up. Like we had a old cabinet, a display cabinet, that China cabinet we went to get rid of. First, we listed it. It's solid oak. We listed it for like $200. Bunch of people saved it. No comments. So lowered $100. People started messaging, but nobody really wanted it. So I put free on there. Got all these messages, and it still took 3 weeks before someone came to pick it up. And that was about 100 messages later. And most people, when you replied back to them, they would say, "Oh, sorry, this is the wrong size. It won't fit." All the dimensions, everything are in the description. So it took a long time. I would have 6-7 people say, I'm coming today. And I would literally say yes to all of them because I knew most of them probably won't show up. And every day, 5 people would say, I'm coming. Nobody would show up. Finally, one person came and he brought his old ass dad to come lift it. And I told him, this thing is super heavy. And luckily that guy was a beast and he actually lifted it. Yeah, they took it out. I had to help him, but it was like, it was like an experience. And that's when I was like, okay, we got to think real hard before we start buying useless stuff because you can't even give it away on Facebook. Yeah. I'm at a point where I have some stuff, I'm just going to throw it away.
No, you're going to donate it.
Donate
right?
it.
No, even that, but it's like stuff like clothing and stuff. It's just like random stuff that I have that I don't think they want. So I'm just going to.
So it's made you rethink your purchasing items.
Now I'm really like smart when I buy something like, we don't need that. I'll rent it. Or if I need a tool, I'm not buying that. I'll rent it. Because it's just, I don't want things just lying up in the house because it just takes up a lot of space. Like we're in the process of cleaning everything out. And man, do we have a lot of shit. And we have a lot of stuff that are like one-time use things. Like, my roommate has a giant boat that's been sitting in a box for like 2 years. I told him we're getting rid of this thing this year. You want to get in a boat? We're going to go rent it for 2 hours and you can have your fun. And that's it. Yeah. No one's getting the small dingy boat that we might die in.
I think I know which roommate you're talking about.
I didn't go there without a life jacket.
I was a little scared. I was like, oh, I don't know.
I'm wearing 2 life jackets just in case.
Yeah.
And I like that none of the roommates and no one in our family even knows how to swim, but yet we like to try and do these little excursion things. Like we have no business doing stuff like that. I agree. None.
I mean, I love being in the water. That's why I wear a life jacket.
I'm going to learn how to swim.
That's my goal too.
But I think, I don't know what it is, but some people, like, I can't stand water going in my eyes and in my ears.
And my nose.
Yeah, so I'm going to put the earplugs in, but once I take my glasses off, I can't see anything. I might swim right into a wall. I don't know.
Okay, how about my experience? I have sold, I just discovered Facebook Marketplace. I was using apps before. I think it was called,
Craigslist.
Craigslist, I was doing things on Craigslist, but there was an app a couple years ago, Let It Go or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Let Go. That's what it's called, Let Go. And then I don't know what happened. They eventually cracked down on that. So then I was using Alvin's Facebook because I don't have Facebook.
We had a generic one that we used.
And then people would in the beginning, Al had a very different name. And then people would call me by Alvin's name. And I'm like, no, that's not my name. Like, why do you just assume the person responding is like that person's name?
Because it's linked to their personal account.
Absolutely. So anyhow, I would utilize my brother's account because that's what we do. We all share everything and access codes. And I never DM'd anybody on there for Al or any cute girls. But like, hey, are you?
I don't use Facebook for that. I literally have that Facebook strictly for Marketplace. That's it.
That's
exactly. You can't use Marketplace without a Facebook account.
So I would go and I would use Alvin's Marketplace account and I sold tons of stuff. And that's when I realized I was like, God dang, I think I'm a little bit of a hoarder like my mother.
I had to put all my notifications on mute because you have so many conversations going all the time. But I was like, this is none of my stuff on here. I've never sold one thing. I'm just muting everything.
Like, is this size shoes, size 7 shoe
but how
or
nice
pink
is
heels?
I'll let you do that.
Yeah,
I can't believe you let her do that. I would have said no on my Facebook account. I know how much stuff she has. So I knew it was going to be weeks and months of selling.
It was almost 3 years in the making. I'm not going to lie. I started in 2020. And I got him like a 6-star rating on there. We are ranked as really good responders on Marketplace, and our quality, our punctuality, and our communication, all of the little checkbox that they tell you, we're a solid 6-star, 5-star seller out.
There would be more, but a lot of people don't rate you.
A lot of people don't leave us
even
rates.
after I buy the stuff, I always say, hey man, make sure you rate us after. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because the rating
I like
tells
that you asked. That's so funny.
That's all the time.
I just assume, and like maybe it's an American thing. What we always did, every person did to me, I did back to them.
Well, I think it's just courtesy because then you know what the buyer's integrity, what their character is like. It gives you a little bit of a description, like they're solid, like what they're selling is good quality.
Yep.
Right? Okay, let's get to the next one. So, Rose, you said that you had a pretty positive experience.
Yeah, I can't say I had anything negative. Maybe a few people, because I had a couple bidding wars to take advantage.
Yeah, and the variety of things.
You're right. I probably didn't sell enough stuff.
shows for you. No shows for you.
I never had maybe one or two, but again, I was like smart like Al, so I would put 3 or 4 in the pipeline, and I would say if this one doesn't show up, then it's you. And then it made them feel like, oh, is there a list of people? So I think I built that in that they would always show up.
You started to create some hype in your own, items.
I'm like, yeah, I have 9 people ahead of you. If they don't show up, it's yours. And then okay, I'm really interested. Let me know. I'm like,
you gotta create that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if they don't show up today, they're not coming.
Yep.
Yeah. Al, so overall, would you say you've had a positive experience?
It's been okay for me. Like I find for women, when you guys are selling stuff, like me personally, I would never buy a used pair of shoes or a handbag or none of that stuff, because it's not about that, the fact that it's used or whatnot. It's just, I don't care about the name brand stuff. To be, I need to have a name brand, so I can't afford the real thing. I'm gonna go buy the used version of it. That to me is just like something's wrong, because usually you want the status so bad that you're willing to go buy something that's already been worn, used, and you're gonna go put it on yourself.
Hey, I'm planning to sell my Louis Vuitton handbags.
That's what I mean. For women, like it's nonstop. For guys, like no one's gonna go buy that. I don't know how many people guys, unless it's something sports or like a very
but what if like a really nice tuxedo? Like what if a guy wore a really nice tuxedo to his wedding reception? He paid $2,000 for his Burberrys, and he's never going to wear it again. Then you sell that, right? Let somebody else experience
that's a one-off. But you guys are selling like all your old clothes and everything like that, and people are buying them. Like, you guys have like people lined up to buy them. Like I know. I don't know how this works.
Like I said in one of my posts a couple weeks ago, I had all the designer and luxury stuff in my 30s. None of that stuff ever made me happy. And guess where it is now? It's all going on marketplace.
I know. I think I'm going to start
selling. Especially because the area that we live in, Vancouver, it's a little more affluent, right? The stuff that I see people selling blows my mind. I saw a Rolls Royce used one for sale, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I only drove for 50,000 kilometers selling my Rolls Royce." And then I saw another person, selling my Patek watch for like, I don't know, 80,000. I'm like, who's on Facebook Marketplace buying an $80,000 watch? And there's tons of these things on there.
Wow,
like luxury.
really?
People are like these Jerry Choo shoes or something like that.
Jimmy Choo.
Yeah, whatever.
Jerry
shoes he brings.
Jerry.
People
This is what I love
people
about
are literally listing them for $500. Like, well, I paid $800, selling for $500. Dude, who's still paying 60% of the market value? That thing should be like 80% off because it's been worn.
Technically, like if you look at my Louis Vuitton handbag, I bought that, I think it was almost 18 years ago.
Oh, yes.
What I'll sell today for even a discount is still the value is much higher.
But in my mind, that just shows me like how sad of a state that the world is in. That
I know.
Where everyone's willing to go work like a day and night for just so I can go buy something with a name on it and be like, oh, look at me now, guys. Like I'm cool because I have supposedly a $2,000 handbag that I bought for like $600.
Well, you know what's funny is Al says that now. I'm so like I don't want to wear my designer handbags, that's why I'm trying to sell them. But I have one knockoff. Remember the one I got from TJ Maxx? I didn't realize it's a knockoff Gucci. Oh. It was just $25 on sale.
I just say that to you when you bought it. It looks like a knockoff Gucci. So I bought it, and everywhere people are like, "Oh, wow, nice." I'm like, no. It's $25 from TJ Maxx. Like I don't wear designer stuff. Like no,
it's like green and red.
No, it's not even wrong them. I just don't want them to think that that is my identity. I'm not attached to the designer wear anymore. I've outgrown that part of myself. So I'm always very cautious now. Now I'm like, I should give this handbag to mom. Just go get it.
Well, here's the thing. I've sold quite a few of my luxury items on there. And mind you, I bought quite a bit of my stuff from England, from all of my visits from England. And in England, all these designer labels are much cheaper than they are in North America. But I do think, I disagree with what you're saying in the sense that if you can't afford the real deal, here's the thing. Sometimes people's financial situation change, right? Let's say somebody gets married or something, or an ex-boyfriend or an ex-husband gives them a gift. They no longer want that gift. And they, and it could be in amazing condition and they want to sell it. So here's the thing. Sometimes someone's loss is another person's gain because someone paid full price for that item and then now they're getting it off for 30 to 40% off.
But even though they're getting for 30% off, it's still outrageously expensive. That one piece of whatever you're buying. Right. It's not like people just make that kind of money regularly. Like most people I know like have luxury stuff, but they're like living paycheck to paycheck because they're spending it on for the luxury items that are on for show. I think
when you're in your 20s, you go through that phase where you just want it. And then you realize after like, oh, what was I thinking?
You're in a younger mindset. We were like that too back then. Like, oh, we want Louis Vuitton or we want something like that. And then as you get older, like, I'm really wearing it just so I can tell people, like, look, I have money.
Right.
Like, I can afford this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What's the most expensive thing that either of you have sold on Marketplace?
Oh God, I don't remember. Again, it's been like 3 years since I've used Facebook Marketplace. So probably $100, $200. I don't have much expensive.
You know, okay.
No.
Al, I think I know because I was there with you when we did this, when we sold this item for Dad.
Camera, I think.
Electric bike.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And that was a lady's
so many
bike.
things we sold.
That was a lady's bike, by the way. Yeah, and I sold also one of Dad's DSL camera. DSR, is it? Or DSLR cameras for $350. But that bike, that electric bike that Dad bought, that was a lady bike. That was a lady bike.
Yeah. It had like the most like bubblous wheels too, man. It was like tiny little
I know.
things.
I don't know what he was thinking with that.
Yeah, the
one.
wheels were like 15 inches.
Thank God
like,
Ann stepped in and got him his money back.
I was like, well, right when
like
I
a little
came home, I'm
person's
like, Dad, whose bike is that? I thought it was for Rose. Yeah, I thought it was for Rose or someone else. And then he goes, I bought an electric bike. And I'm like, did you not look at what it looked like before you purchased it? I'm like, that's a female bike. That's what women.
It was actually a dangerous bike to drive because the wheels are so small that when you turn, it's just like turns on a dime. And I think I fell off of it.
God bless the person that bought it. But I think we sold it for what? Just under $1,000? It
was like $1,200 or something.
Oh,
yeah, maybe 1,000 around there.
Something like that. So that was a really good one here. Okay. Any annoying experience you've had with a buyer?
Yes, plenty.
Plenty?
But I've realized though one thing. So I had a lot of annoying experience with people like they don't reply back or they're responding, but then they respond like 2 days later. And then I decided to go get some stuff on Facebook. I needed a couple parts I was looking for, and I was looking for like some like winter tires, random things like that. And what I would do is I found that I went into a different mode now that I'm looking to buy. So I would go on there and I would see like, let's say 5 things, and I would just message those 5 people all at the same time. And there's a tap button on the saying, hi there, is this still available? So I didn't check to see if it's gone or not. I just kept tapping. And then I found myself also not responding to the people once I had someone on the line to be like, oh yeah, this person's going to respond to me. I'll say, let me show up. They'll be all responding to me. And I'd be like, holy shit, I'm that guy. I'm not responding to all these people because what am I going to do after I bought the item? I'm going to go back and say, sorry, I've already bought it. I'm like, that's a waste of my time. So I just left it be too.
Yeah, but when you hit sold, I think they get a message that it's been sold.
Some people forget to
No, but some people don't
it,
actually. The seller has to go click sold. It just stays on there for a while.
I always click on sell because I don't want to tell it's sold. Yeah.
So I forgot to do a lot.
I know that. I find it really.
I wore both shoes.
I find it really annoying when people say, hello, is this available? But I know that's a standard little thing
it's
that
like
they click.
one click because when you're going through a bunch of stuff, you're not going to go through each description.
Because people like Al and don't go update that it's sold. So that's why you have to ask.
Too, you say a lot, like message a bunch of people and you don't look into the description to realize, oh, this is not what I want. Oh, this is not what I need. You look at it after because it takes too long to go into each description.
Yeah, it's not very user-friendly.
It's like fishing. You first throw the line out there, and then see which one catches on it, and then you start reeling that one in.
Okay, well, this was a fun episode. I think we can go on for hours and hours talking about some of our experience. But as we close this, I want to tell you, have you ever come across a funny ad for an item on Marketplace? Because I did. I came across one and I saved it.
All right, let us have it.
Al, you sent me a really good one a couple weeks ago about some guy explaining the car that he was selling, why the car didn't work and why it was
Mercedes Sprinter and stuff. Yeah. Pretty
okay. So I love sometimes when it's everyone that's on here, but I love when immigrant people, and I'm not being racist or anything because my parents are immigrant, but I love the way sometimes we don't know the exact words for something, so we use substitutions for trying to explain the real thing. Yeah. And I love these ones. I'm already starting to laugh here when I see these ones come up, and I don't know why this word makes me laugh. So there are people that are selling mannequins from stores, or I guess from if they have a retail shop, and they call them dummy. So here's an ad here. I'm not gonna lie. Can you both look at it to verify what I'm reading? Dummy.
Excellent.
$40.
Dummies. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. The ad says, excellent condition dummies for sale. We have over 50 pieces. Please pick up at Vancouver, Granville, and 54th Avenue. They are all in great condition. Okay, so there's dummies for sale.
You're going to get canceled here today, kids.
And they're in great condition. Like, you should say, I have mannequins for sale, not dummies. But that says, because we
used to say dummies. That would
I've never heard that word.
Oh, I used to hear that. Mom used to say dummies all the time.
And we have over 50 of them. So you have 50 dummies. Okay.
For sale.
Probably 51. Whoever put that post up is also one of the dummies.
Okay. takes one to know one. Anyhow, that's it. So if you come across any funny Facebook Marketplace ads, please send them our way or share them in our comments or DM us. We love that kind of stuff. We love a good laugh. Okay, so this was our Marketplace Madness episode where we just shared our experience with our listeners and our viewers. Hope you're able to connect and get a laugh and maybe sell some stuff along the way. Now is a great time to try and get rid of some stuff out of your closet or your garage. We are going to sign off now. We want to wish you a fantastic week. Please share your win of the week next week. Until next week, we are a Tribe Called Dhillon podcast. I'm Angie Dhillon.
I'm Rose Dhillon.
And I'm Alvin Dhillon.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
And that was bye from Miko.
Yeah.